kind of dark, like my soul. Ever feel like that? Oh, now I'm in the light. Don't you know that the only way to get out of the darkness is through the light? But you got to travel through the darkness in order to get to find that light. Do you know that? Do you know that a black hole in the galaxy will consume all of the light around it? It will suck up all of the stars, like just pull them into itself. And then it might take 10 million years, and then it will spit them out the other side, a brighter, bigger light, right? How amazing is that? Being that we are made of stardust and we are just stars in the making, basically. How you guys doing this evening? I was not going to go live. It's been a long time since I've gone live because I just haven't really felt up to par. You know, I've just really been going through my own journey of grief. But you know, I look on Facebook and I see, as always, I am not the only person that is going through this thing called loss of a loved one, end of life, grief, you know, growing up, understanding why we are here, why we connect and grow with someone, and then they have to go. You know, that's just how it goes, right? Our whole lesson in this lifetime is learning how to make these open-hearted connections with other human beings and not be attached to them. And then they go away, right? So, you know, one of my Facebook friends lost their husband, and another one of my Facebook friends lost their son. And it made me think of a client that I had a number of years ago who had lost 2 children. She had 12 kids total, and she had lost 2 of them. One that was 2 years old, and one that was 20-something, 22, 24 years old. And she told me that it was so much more challenging for her to lose the 20-year-old, the 22-year-old child than the 2-year-old child, because she had had 20, whatever, however many years of life to develop the relationship with that person, to get to know them. And when she lost her baby, you know, she just had the experience of the baby. Babies aren't really interactive, although they're awfully darn cute, right? So anyways, it really stayed with me throughout my life, you know, and it really gave me the teaching that, you know, when we connect to someone and we really make these connections with others, we tie ourselves, our soul vines, our energies in with them, and we become one with them if we're, you know, either in a bad way, codependent, or a good way, interdependent. And we grow with them, and they create this space in our life, and they literally take up space with their physical presence, and then they take up space with whatever mashiganas in their head and your head and the relationship that we have with them, and then all the little tasks that we do with them. And then when they're gone, there's this tremendous amount of space left and created. Not only is their physical presence missing, so is their entire energetic presence and the way that it infiltrated our lives and added to every part of ourselves. And then we're left with us, our own beings, our own memories, our own experiences, and depending on how that relationship went and whether or not we were open-hearted and we had a good one or a bad one, you know, we have regrets or we don't. And it's very challenging for us human beings to open our heart and connect to others and trust that experience, which really doesn't make any sense since we're all interconnected anyway. You know, I think that the worst thing that people are afraid of is being embarrassed. I do. I think that that is the number one thing that stops human beings from really making the connections in their life with other people, with professions that they want, with jobs, with careers, is because they're afraid to be embarrassed. And here's the deal, folks. You're gonna die anyway, and no one cares because they're just as afraid and they're just as scared to be embarrassed as you are. So don't let embarrassment, oh, look at, here's the military, here's my tax dollars, hard at work. That's what happens when you live in the fly zone. I just sincerely hope that some of those planes are coming back from Kabul with some people in them. Probably not. Anyways, sorry about that interruption with the government. So I was, just kind of drawn to come out here and do this live video for everyone who's experiencing some kind of loss, which is a lot of us. There's a lot. It's been a crazy almost 2 years with, this virus and all the people that we've lost from it. I'm sure everyone at this point knows somebody who has gotten really very sick from the coronavirus and possibly died. I really don't think there's anyone left who hasn't. So we've all we've had collective loss as the way that we interact in our society has changed. We've had to have even more space and distance, social distancing, masks. So there's all these little deaths that are happening. Petit l'amour, the French, they call it, they have a loving way of saying it. It's like a little death of love. Love is like a little kiss of death, because a part of us is always gone when we fall in love with something or someone, because we give that part to them. And then when they physically go away, we're like, I don't want it back. What do I do with it? How do we integrate that loss into our body? So since I've been a little girl, I was taught this way, that death gives life, that our whole thing here on this planet called Children's Planet is about learning the cycle of birth, life, death, renewal, and then birth again. And, please don't tell anyone who has lost a loved one that it's okay. That death gives life, especially if they've just lost their loved one. Please don't. They might sock you in the face. The appropriate things to say to people who have lost loved ones are, I'm so sorry for your loss and my condolences. And that's pretty much it. Keep it right there. Don't tell people, oh, they're in a better place. At least they're not in pain. Jesus has got them. Don't say things like this. People might punch you. You don't know how that grief is rolling through that person. So just be mindful and respectful of it. So besides losing physical people, because I'm kind of rambling at this point, we experiencing these little deaths in our own life, ways to have renewal. And if you've lost a person in your life, then you understand what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, maybe you've lost a job. And it's not the same thing in any way, but our life is constantly asking for us to renew ourselves. Our life is constantly asking us to be like a snake and to slip out of the skin that we've been in and step into the new, more evolved part of ourselves. That sounds so easy and uncomfortable too. I don't really want to slip out of my skin. And that's where the pain comes in, because I am myself. I can only speak for myself. I am resistant to the loss in my life. I am not accepting it. And because I have not graciously just opened my arms to the death of my loved one, that resistance has shown itself in so many other places in my life. And time is all that I have to be able to get to the other side of that. And that's all we all have. Because see, as the time is ending, the sun is going down. So I kind of rambled in this video. I don't think I had a point, but I just was really, really driven to just say, remember, we are here to open our hearts. We are here to make these beautiful connections with ourselves, with life, with other people. There's so much goodness and beauty available to us. So no matter what we've lost, no matter how much pain we've been through, it's not really a good decision to lock up your heart. It's much better. Just allow yourself to have those feelings, to let that loss change you the way it's supposed to, develop you, humble you, open you, honor you. So all of the things that we lose in our life are really here to show us other parts of ourselves. And, our dogs are just as important as our people, just as important. So thank you all for spending time listening to me. And, as always, go ahead, share. You want to hear more, check out bluebuddhacbd.com. You can always hear me there, or Firebird Touch Therapy. Be like the Firebird. Please be like the Firebird and consume yourself in your own ash. Suffer, man. Feel your pain. Embrace it. It's there for a reason. It's there to teach you. It's there to show you that you are deeper and stronger than you think you are. So step into the center of your heartache. Step into the center of that loss and allow it to do its good work in your life. Allow it to be the earthquake that it is. Because that's what it is, man. It's an earthquake in your life. It's an earthquake. So let it fuck you up, man. Let it rock your world. Because what you're going to be when you come through the other side of it is a greater manifestation of what you are now. And you will be able to collect all of that love of those loved ones that you've lost and bring them with you in your new, transformed, remodeled self. So, good night. I hope y'all like my hair, and I'm glad it's getting dark so you can't see it. Thank you for your time. See you later.